Welcome to the Austin LGBT Business News Podcast, where business meets public policy and maybe a beverage. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and CEO of the Chamber. On today's pod, we're going to talk local business news and the headlines this week. Wholesale inflation drops. Austin's budget, is it a Band-Aid or a bold move? And the downtown hobby building getting a new life. We'll be back. Welcome to the Austin Business News Podcast. I'm joined here with Amy, Fiona, and Colton. Fiota. Amy, Fiota.
That sounds nice.
We like that one.
That sounds nice.
We're a blended
Welcome,
family.
Fiota. Sounds like a fruit.
Or Toyota.
Yeah. Fruity is apropos. We're both a bit fruity, aren't we?
Yes.
A fruity Toyota.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love it.
Well, the rain has subsided. Sun is out. How's everybody's weekend?
Mm-hmm. Better than the previous weekend.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was very domestic around my house,
Yeah.
but, managed to catch up with some homies.
Good.
Yep.
Good. I had some homies come into my house and wouldn't leave. It was
Oh, love that.
started out as watching a match, and it turned into an all-day party with pretty much half my neighborhood in my little small downtown townhome that's at capacity at 4.
Yep.
We pushed that capacity.
Fire marshal was called.
So what matches were they? What games were you
It
watching?
was Manchester United, which we watched at a proper pub. But that was an early morning match because, UK.
Mm-hmm.
And then the women's Euro semifinals,
Mm.
great match.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, yeah.
Who
And then the
won?
rest of the day, I don't
Good
really
stuff.
recall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
That sounds nice.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Oh, great.
I was a little grandpa.
Oh, you love being a grandpa.
I know, I'm boring.
Did you get caught up on all the housewives?
Yes.
Mhm.
And Next Gen NYC.
Oh, hey.
Mm.
Love her.
That's a good. I'm
And I've been
into
watching
it.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
I love Big Brother.
Never watched
That is like if I could be on any show, I think Amazing Race I would do pretty well at given my backpacking. But man, I just think I would crush it in Big Brother.
I think you would
I think
crush
you
it
would
in
too.
Amazing Race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where you eat bugs.
You eat
for
bugs,
money.
you travel fast, you got to
Oh.
be think quick on your feet.
Some of
and
the new challenges though, like you really have to pick your partner
somebody who
the-
likes heights and bugs.
and like is flexible.
You can
Like
go ahead and
some of
count
the
me out
challenges,
on
I'm
all
like,
those.
wow, I don't know that I could do that. There was one several seasons ago where you had to learn a choreographed dance parallel to the ground.
I'm out.
So you were like harnessed in and you were dancing on the side of a wall.
Nope.
Yeah. Wild, right?
I mean, if they had like strings attached to me and like a little marionette, great.
Sure.
Chicago.
Love that.
Chicago, the movie.
Well,
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a lot of headlines to get to. So let's take a look at the first. Yeah. Well, the Fed is winning right now, but tariffs and travel might crash the after party. Consumer Price Index, the PPI, is out. Basically, the PPI is the cost of things before it hits your shopping cart. Those prices dropped 0.1% in June, and it's a big deal. It's the first dip in wholesale inflation since February and the latest in a trio of cooling economic reports. Consumer prices, well, softer than expected. Retail sales basically flat. Producer prices, those are down. Wall Street is buzzing like a bottomless mimosa sundae. Year over year rise in the PPI is now 2.6%, and the core PPI, excluding the usual drama of food, energy, and trade, came in at 3%, not zero, but the firestorm we've been living through. So, translation, the Fed's hike rate, 11 of them since March of 2022, is doing their job. Demand is cooling, costs are stabilizing, and Jerome Powell might actually get to take his foot off the brakes by fall. Maybe. Translation, maybe a rate cut. But there's always a but, comes the hangover, tariffs, travel, and consumer stubbornness. Just as inflation cools, the U.S. is dialing up tariffs on China, Mexico, and elsewhere. We're talking double-digit increases in everything from EV batteries to steel and semiconductors. That means a higher input for U.S. producers. And spoiler, businesses don't eat those costs. They pass them on like a hot potato. Expect certain goods to be more expensive, but nothing says mission accomplished like lighting the inflation fire you just put out. travel and spending, Americans gone wild. Meanwhile, consumers are still living like there's no recession. Airfare is down, but airline profits are up. Translation of volume. People are spending on experiences and not things. Travel and hospitality rose 2.1 in June alone, and it's not the largest monthly jump in over a year. And while retail sales are technically flat, don't sleep on the fact that discretionary categories like clothing, bars, and restaurants are still pulling in very strong numbers. The American consumer is defying gravity and credit card limits. Yes, inflation is slowing, but demands in key sectors are sticky, and sticky demands keeps pressure on prices, and that's not lost on the Fed. Bottom line, PPI report is a win for Team Powell, but the Fed's not popping champagne just yet, and tariffs, revenge travel, and persistent consumer spending to the mix, the path to a soft landing does get a bit bumpier. The market's betting on rate cuts this fall, but if prices in travel and trade keep climbing, the Fed may hold the line. Inflation may be cooling, but America's still swiping like it's 2021. Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Oh boy, I feel that credit card limit.
Yeah, PPI means something different for me.
What?
Pixels per inch.
Oh God. Of course.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about here.
Oh, dear. I mean, I'm just being recalled to last week. Wasn't Trump saying he wanted to fire Jerome Powell again?
Yeah.
And then the markets crashed. And then I guess is he just stopped talking about that for a few days? And
Yeah.
no, I mean,
I suspect a few
But-
CEOs probably gave him a call and was like,
again.
dude, like, what are you doing? Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
You're the dumbest man at
It's
business.
so annoying.
Yeah. Well, I would say
Yeah.
like it's moving around. But keep in mind, PPI is just the prices received by domestic producers. So that does not include all of the tariff impacted items yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Those will hit over on the CPI numbers, which comes out next month.
Mm.
Because
Uh,
the pause is over. Right.
The pause is over, and
Mm.
we're just now starting to see some of the tariffs being paid from earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those products are finally coming to the shelves,
Mm.
but that'll show up in the CPI numbers, not in the PPI numbers.
Yeah.
My economics professor is plumb happy right now that I'm able to recite
I know.
any of this.
Yeah. I think this is one of those situations where like we're not the average American who didn't pay attention when their dad was teaching economics in high school, like me. I'm not going to fully grasp it until it gets worse before it gets better.
Well, and I think that's I think the market too has basically been ignoring
Right.
everything coming out of the White House.
Well, because we've been told so many things for so long that after a while, I hate to say it's like boy who cried wolf, but it's eventually just you go back to spending the way that you were spending, even though everyone was holding steady.
Yes. Yeah. First quarter, it was real tight. Everybody was holding cash, holding money, both consumers
yeah.
and companies. And now the market's just ignoring what's happening at
Real
the top
estate
level.
was weird. At least here in Central Texas, real estate is weird. I haven't really compared across the country, but I imagine it's the same given the market.
In some of the big cities, they're definitely starting to see prices leveling off in real estate. Some of the big metro cities, especially the big tech forward cities, because of the ability for people to work romantically,
Wow.
remotely.
That's real nice.
Someone just got in trouble for working romantically.
I heard
On a
something about a
Jumbotron.
big screen.
Oh.
Yes.
We talked about that on my family chat on Friday.
Oh, my
Kiss
Yeah.
cam. Maybe we should have a kiss cam at the gala.
Oh.
I'm loving the internet. I'm loving all the jokes.
I know those
Uh,
poor people though.
The Phillies
I know.
mascot
Oh my
is the
god!
best.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
the two
it's
mascots.
the big woolly furry thing that they
Does
have.
that come to alien? What is he?
It's like an Alf kind of looking
It's
mascot.
an elf
green
with a
Alf.
horn as a nose.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
But yeah, I'm loving the internet with all their fun. I mean, I feel bad for the spouses of those two, but at some
Yeah.
point a check's going to cash.
And some of the statements, quote unquote statements that have come out, and I don't know which ones are true and which ones aren't because
Mhm.
the internet, but there have been statements allegedly have come out of the impacted spouses,
Yeah.
and they're devastating. God,
Aw.
like
Yeah.
like
But the nice thing is like, obviously the spouses are obviously not at fault.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
everybody I've spoken to agrees that if they had just not reacted, it would have disappeared.
Yeah.
Like it would have never surfaced. I
Right.
don't think.
Because people would not have sleuthed to
Like,
figure out who they
oh,
were.
why are they? Yeah, why are they freaking out? Oh, well.
But I will say, like, as much as it's been negative press on those two, nobody's talking about the fact that we got to give props to him. She's age appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, she's not a 24-year-old, marketing junior.
And people, this happens all the time. Like, I'm not condoning it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's okay. I'm not making excuses for those two, but like, just because he's some highfalutin, big time CEO, this happens. And it sucks that it's so public for them. Like, I do not envy
And
their
a Coldplay
situation.
concert.
Yeah, like at all.
If y'all would like some more entertainment, one of our members caught someone on camera at Oil Can Harry's stealing tip money out of the door.
No.
I saw
And
that
they
video.
caught him on camera, and those comments are off the rails. So if you want a little entertainment,
That is
Check it out.
low.
Yeah,
That
it's-
is so low.
Yeah, she put her hand right in the tip bucket
Oh.
and just pulled out a wad.
and it looked like they asked the door person a question to get them to walk out from behind their table.
Ew.
Gross.
So they paid cover to steal money out of the tip jar?
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go.
Yeah.
Save
And
the
then she
$20.
Turn and look like right at the camera.
Of course
so
she did.
they'll
Yeah, she
figure
was probably
out.
like, "Oh shit."
I mean, here's a little tip. Drag queen's going to have some cameras around. Like, come on now.
I hate a thief. I hate
And
a thief.
the queers make such good investigators.
Oh my God. We are like our own little PI community.
Oh my gosh. I can never imagine doing that. Like, so I was at HEB the other day and I checked out with my groceries. And then as I was walking out, I realized this little eyeshadow that I'd wanted to purchase was hidden underneath my purse. And it was a $3 eyeshadow.
Oh,
First off,
And so I felt, I was
breaking
like,
the bank,
I could have
Fiona.
stolen an eyeshadow. So instead, I spoke to a couple of the workers. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I've just paid for my groceries, but I realized I didn't pay for the eyeshadow. And they said, oh, you can put your basket there and go back around. I'm like, thank you.
Oh
Like,
my.
just the thought of walking out with a $3 eyeshadow made me feel so gross. So I cannot imagine putting your hand in a tip jar.
no, and then she
stealing
proceeded
the
to go
money.
in and enjoy the entertainment
No.
that she just stole from.
No. How?
I have heard stories. I mean, we all have. I've heard stories like this. Like even a friend of mine in Lockhart, had a not a GoFundMe, but a fundraiser with hired musicians to help another friend out, and somebody ran off with the donation bucket,
Oh, dear.
like at a fundraiser. Like
Were they in the Trump family?
there's no telling these
Might be
days.
part of his extended family. I forget what they call him.
Wow.
Well, Austin city manager has put out his budget. Is it a bold move or a Band-Aid? Council is just now kicking off the budget season for this next fiscal year. And spoiler alert, it is a $6.3 billion Frankenstein. With looming property tax cap, fading federal pandemic funds, and a $33 million deficit, this is a fiscal crisis, and we are here for it. Things are very tense at City Hall. Mayor Kirk Watson is playing poker. The maximum tax rate set July 31 will trigger a November election under the 3.5 cap. Meanwhile, sales tax is underperforming. Federal support is evaporating, and reserves are being rated to balance things out, like the $14.1 million deep and shifting departmental transfers. A quote, balanced budget, yes, but feel the side eye and Band-Aid metaphor. Mayor Pro Tem Fuentes did not mince words at a recent council session when she said, quote, I believe we have before us a Band-Aid budget, a budget that has Band-Aid solutions. Council members Ryan Alter and Mike Siegel echoed that suspicion. The message, fine-tuning today, might hide bigger questions for tomorrow. Let's take a look at what's getting funded. The general fund jumps 3.7, hitting a $1.5 billion. City staff is getting a 4% pay raise, and living wage will now be adjusted to $22.05 per hour. Housing and homelessness aid will get $8 million for a marshalling yard, nearly $1 million for outreach, and $400,000 in emergency rental assistance. Social justice initiatives, well, they'll get $345,000 for a human rights division. Greener Austin, $3.7 million to Austin Energy rebates and solar incentives. Infrastructure, $2.9 billion is earmarked for water management, convention center, and airport expansion. So how does this hit your wallet? The proposed tax rate of 0.5276 cents per $100 means that's an extra 154-ish thousand or 154-ish dollars for a typical homeowner, about $12.90 a month. Factor in other fees like utility, trash, water, and transit, and the average hit for the wallet is about $22.35 a month. Bottom line, this isn't a visionary break the bank type budget. It is a strategic patch job. Council's balanced, but only dipping into savings and reshuffling funds. There is real investment in housing, energy, and wages and infrastructure, but at what cost? Residents will be footing more of the tab, and next year's budget process reality check could be brutal. Bottom line, though, Austin isn't solving structural financial challenges. They're just delaying them. And the council just traded long-term stability for short-term balance. And if revenue does not rebound, next year might demand more than a Band-Aid.
Oh, heavy.
That made me feel stressed.
I know.
That's a lot of numbers.
So it's a tight budget, and we've seen it coming. I will say our CFO in the city, we've had a great CFO, Ed Van Enu, for many, many years. And he forecast out several years in advance, and he had forecasted out a couple of years back that we'd be in a deficit position right now. But then you couple in the fact that because, like we mentioned a moment ago, right, the housing market has dipped a bit in Austin. So property tax revenue is down, sales tax revenue is down because people aren't spending quite as much. So sitting on a big budget shortfall to begin with, the cap means that it's by state statute. A local government entity cannot raise taxes year over year above 3.5% without going to the voters for a budget. So they'll set that tax rate, proposed tax rate increase in a July meeting later this month. And then that will go to the voters to see if they want to approve a larger budget.
What is the percentage if it's under, if it has to be 3.5 or more to go to a vote, right?
It has to be over 3.5% increase over last year budget.
Right. I haven't done the math on this, but I don't know. They take the budget very seriously.
You do.
And I mean, yeah, and this is terrible. I know people hate this, but the fact that, yeah, it's going to hit the resident more to pay more, that is how you cushion the new budget. Like it's how it gets done.
Cost of life increases typically anywhere from 3 to 4.5%, depending what market you live in.
If you don't want to take away from other areas, trash pickup,
Public safety,
helping out with homeless outreach. Like if you don't want to take away from that, and we just talked about how costs are about to go up in every other aspect. That means like any product, like hard material that the city has to purchase, that's also going to go up in cost. I don't know.
Yeah, and not to mention like the feds are pulling back funding. I think it was the Department of Health and Human Services lost like over 10 million in federal funding, just ripped away. So like there are all these giant holes that are being created, mixed with a weird economy, and our real estate market has gone down about 8%.
Yeah, I think it's just going to look really clunky the next 2 years, 3 years, while everything maybe hopefully levels out. Meanwhile, in Lockhart, we're getting an ARC.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Our operating budget has not changed.
It will. Lockhart's right. Their home prices are going up. You're expanding homes, which means more money coming into property tax coffers.
Yeah. But
We'll see.
we don't have, this makes you nervous. I would be nervous if people were paying attention as Austin residents. You should be paying attention. You should be engaging, going to a city council meeting or two.
Yeah. All politics are local.
And then voting.
Local hits your pocketbook immediately. You
Yep.
should know who your city council member is. Easy to find out. You can go to the city's website, plop in your address. It'll tell you who your council member is. They're going to have some meetings, right, that people can engage in between now and then to be able to speak your mind about what your budget priorities are. But, it's lovely to go in there and ask for, a pocket park in your neighborhood. But they have to decide between that pocket park and providing public safety or infrastructure, right? They've got to rank all of those priorities.
2 a day or 2 a week or 1 a week trash pickup or providing bins, or you have to provide your own bins. Like, it's fascinating to me what people will complain about until they look at where the budget is allocated, and then they find out that their priorities actually align with how the budget aligns. And sometimes you just have to go gulp.
And the city does a great job. They have a budget calculator that's $1. And then you have to go in and kind of figure out, okay, I would spend 8 cents of that dollar on parks and 12 cents. And then you quickly realize, as you cut up that dollar into all of the various services that a city provides, how you want to prioritize that spend. You have between now and August 13th is when they will do their final adoption of the budget.
A piece of this story that piqued my interest was about the $8 million to Marshalling Yard shelter. And I thought, what is that? And then I looked up and saw Marshalling Yard was an area near the airport that was used for storage around the convention center. But now they're converting it into a place for unhoused people to go live, like temporarily. Like that's, I didn't know about that piece. I thought that was really interesting.
Because we don't have good services. We don't have a continuum of services for our homeless population here.
I wonder what that looks like though, out at Marshalling Yard. Like,
it's a dirt yard where they used to store heavy machinery.
So now people are just being shuttled to go live out there?
No, they want to be able to create structure out there for the homeless to be able to.
Transitional housing, I imagine. I mean, it's better than the tent city that we had in Vancouver. During the Olympics. They legit provided Coleman tents. And chain link fenced an area off, and it was like, and rounded people up like they were cattle and said, no, you have to go here. And it was devastating. It was the most inhumane practice I think I've ever experienced in any city I've lived in.
That's a shame.
It was embarrassing.
That's a smart city. Vancouver is a smart city. Like, I feel like they could have come up with a more elegant solution.
Well, there were 2 options. It was tent, and you can stay, and you can bring your cart of belongings.
Right.
Or here is a stipend of $500 and a train ticket east. And you have to leave your belongings here.
Wow.
Like a train ticket east to whatever destination you choose.
This is when I wish, like the mega church guy, what's his name in Houston?
Joel Osteen.
Who drives Ferraris,
whatever, a Bugatti, some ridiculous car.
Mr. Righteous Gemstone.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
But there really needs to be a public-private partnership around the solution, because we can't tax our way out of it. It is expensive to provide that continuum of services, whether it be not quite a tent city, but at least kind of an intake space, and then determine what their needs are and move them according to where their needs are, whether it be mental health or substance abuse or whatever the root cause is, and then get them into some type of transitional housing. But you're right, it's the belongings. I remember I'd gone to a session when we were looking as a city at what LA was doing, and right and wrong. But one of the factors that they discovered is that people were unwilling to go into the kind of the tent city
or
because
a shelter.
They weren't allowed to bring their belongings.
That's right. Or animals.
Or then they didn't feel safe leaving them to then go to work.
Right.
Because they'd come back and it would all be gone.
Do you remember the trash bin? The great idea, the purple trash bin that we had here?
No.
Where they wanted to put, you don't remember this?
No.
It was
like domestic.
You would rent, quote unquote, like a rolly bin and put all your belongings in, and they were going to store it in a parking garage if you were homeless, and then you could collect it later.
I mean, fair play. It
did not work. But that is from my work in Vancouver. So I worked in a dispensary, and I volunteered at a needle exchange. And that was the biggest obstacle, was these folks did not want to give up. That is their whole world.
Sure.
That what is in that basket or cart or wagon is everything to them.
I mean, I get pissed off when the airline loses my luggage. I can't imagine losing what's left of my humanity.
It's like the little fish on Finding Nemo. That's like my bubbles. Like, very passionate about their belongings. Sure. And so the rule was in Vancouver, like you couldn't go into a shelter, you couldn't go into transitional housing, you couldn't do anything with it. You had to, and it's a hygiene thing too, right? Sure. So, and even the creatives we had some really famous artists on the street. I think David Foster was one of them. I have one of his pieces. And anyway, if you bought him markers or any kind of medium, he'd paint you something.
Okay.
And he got to keep the markers.
Okay.
And he couldn't bring stuff like that into a shelter.
That's no good.
But like, these folks are always, they're hopped up on whatever.
Sure.
Like I said, a needle exchange. So most of the time it was heroin. But yeah, it's a difficult when people are like, I don't understand why they just don't help themselves, why they don't. And it's like, there's rules and there's mental wellness challenges that we have to come to some kind of agreement on how to navigate that.
Agreed.
And it's expensive.
It is expensive.
That's the point of the
so I'm glad that the city's putting a good chunk of the budget investing into, because it's very, 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 very long overdue, that we recognize that we have an issue and we need to address that. And at some point during session, they really need to address the fact that the state does literally bust people in after they've been released from incarceration.
Bust them into the city of Austin?
To Austin.
And they just say,
whether they have a connection here or not.
Final stop.
Yeah, here you go.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a rumor in Lockhart that folks are getting bussed out there. And I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, they get bussed into Austin. If they don't have even if they don't have a connection, they get bussed here.
What?
Good times. It's that final little smack that the state loves to give to us Austinites. We're only one of the largest economic drivers in the entire state, but
the governor does realize he resides here, right?
He reluctantly probably. He'd rather be in Dallas, I bet.
I'm happy for him to go somewhere else. Speaking of the state government, downtown Austin's ugly, unoccupied old hobby building is finally getting a moonshot lift. We've seen the empty promises in downtown Austin. Case in point, the hobby building, or the state office building, 3 towers on 3rd and Guadalupe, has sat idle as an eyesore for years. Last week, the Texas General Land Office quietly slid a pen across a ground lease. It's not just paperwork, it's the ignition switch for a full block redevelopment. So what's happening? Well, no wrecking ball just yet, but the state has selected a developer. That's the signal for demolition permits, site prep, massing studies to begin. This isn't just a parking lot facelift. We're talking dense, mixed-use real estate, workforce housing, childcare, retail, and even some office space. It's Austin's vision of a government-sponsored booster rocket. Why does it matter? Well, we're transforming a stale government campus into a walkable 24/7 neighborhood that unlocks ground floor retail, foot traffic, and ultimately tax revenue. Workforce housing, yes, that's the buzz term of the year. Austin needs density and affordability, and this is textbook public land leverage for social benefit. The state capitol is playing ball. General Land Office is finally redeveloping that site, something that's been on the table and we've been begging for since 2019. The upside, if we get this right, it becomes a flagship project. Modern housing, retail activation, all the community spaces could really set a tone for more downtown revitalization. The risk, we've dreamt of this before. Problem is bureaucracy, zoning, and historic preservation will stall us if we're not careful. And let's be honest, this is a corner of downtown that has been at a turtle pace project before. Bottom line, the hobby building, once a tired government block, is now officially on the clock. With a developer in the wings and a lease in hand, demolition is coming. If the execution pans out, this could be the city's next iconic block and a real retail hub for urban vitality. But Austin's biggest challenge won't be pouring concrete. It'll be delivering results without bureaucracy snuffing out momentum. So fasten those seatbelts. Austin's downtown is about to mature yet again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that an SOS lawsuit I smell?
That's
wow.
exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's better than what that building used to smell like, which was piss and rat piss. Both.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an eyesore that's been there for too long. We can literally see it sitting outside of our studio here.
I pass it every day.
I mean, it was a very trendy building back in the day because it, had some very unique architectural structures to it. And
I believe you.
it has since sat in disrepair for many, many years. And yeah, definitely a congregation of no good going on inside of it at the moment.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the destruction looks like, how big it goes, what it ends up ultimately looking like. But like that corner could use some foot traffic.
Yeah. And there's a brand new building that's just finished completion opposite as well, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah. Like, you know, when we turn off like 4th and then you go left on what street is that?
Lavaca?
Yeah. And then there's that
Oh,
brand
yeah,
new building
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. So it's all shiny and new.
Right.
So we're
Across
ready
from
for
the park.
something. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Across from the park.
Now I'm turned around.
So-
What?
Headed out toward Royal Blue that way,
Yeah.
toward the
Oh, on
west.
the other side.
Yeah, so like
Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. Yeah.
Got
right
it.
there and then
Oh, yes. That was the one where we were looking at it and we were like, that doesn't look perpendicular to the ground.
The center post structure in it was leaning
no.
a bit to the right, and I
Yeah.
suspect that it's because of the build.
It
I had one of my architecture friends
right?
go by and look at it, and he was like, "I think it's part of it." I'm like, "I hope so,"
Let's hope so.
You know,
because it looks crooked.
optically, yeah.
The guys that were building that used to be in our office. They used to be here.
Oh,
Those were the
then I
guys
don't
that I
have
would talk
any
to in the kitchen.
high hopes at all
Wow.
for that.
So this is maybe an embarrassing moment for me in Texas history because I feel like I know all the big hitters. And being from Houston, William P. Hobby
Uh-huh.
Airport.
Yep.
Who is that?
I wasn't born here. I don't know.
Who is William P. Hobby and why is he named everywhere?
Why is he so amazing?
Yeah. Does anyone know?
What do you think his
Listener?
hobbies were?
Buildings.
I don't know.
Boring.
I feel like Fiona's over there
Listener-
feverishly Googling.
Of course I am. Well, William P. Hobby without the junior is a former governor of Texas. But let me see if
Oh,
the
there you go.
junior.
That's
Okay.
why.
Because I actually do have the the same question because, you know, I lived in Houston for 11 and a
yeah,
half
that's
years.
right.
And so I know the Hobby Airport really well as well. But we should know who the Hobby. Oh, former lieutenant governor of Texas.
There you
So
go.
they're all political people
How boring.
from the 1950s.
Oh,
So,
even
yeah.
worse. I'm sorry.
It
I
was-
mean, I know that's terrible, but like, you know, when you hear something like, what is it down here? Betty
Naylor.
Betty
or,
Neal.
Yeah.
or Barbara Jordan.
Those are good ones.
Or and maybe I'm a little biased towards our powerful women in
Yes.
Texas.
Yeah.
But like women who actually, I don't know, championed something rather than just like, yeah, I won office. Fantastic. Or I
Well,
was appointed. Like-
Wikipedia
Yeah.
says William P. Hobby Jr., born in 1932, American politician, served a record 18 years as the 34th lieutenant governor of Texas.
Wow.
And that's it.
That's it?
Well, I mean, he was the last lieutenant governor to serve a 2-year term and
So-
the first elected to a 4-year term. Yeah, he's a Texan man that served in government for a while.
I was
Perfect.
going to say, he looks exactly as I expected him to.
I was going to say, but
And he's got an airport. He's
trying
got
to
a
think like
broken down
1932.
building.
So that's only 8 years older than my father.
Okay.
And my dad was of like a perfect age where he missed all the drafts.
Mhm.
So this person, William P. Hobby, is there any record of his return of service?
Keep going down Wikipedia, and I don't really see much other than
Bone
being
spurs.
in politics
No, I'm just
for a
kidding.
long time.
I apologize to anyone who is related to William P. Hobby. I'm
Yeah,
sure you're very
this is
proud.
funny.
But yeah, it sounds on paper, it sounds like another white man in government. But
I'm excited for the redevelopment. It's time for all new things. Hopefully, they don't name it
William P.
Hobby
Hobby.
Building again. I suspect the
Hobby's got
developer
hobbies.
will choose.
Maybe we can.
Should we call it the Hobby Lobby downstairs?
Ann Richards.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
would
sure they'll go
love
for that.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's learn some new things. Let's get into some real
Yay!
fun facts.
So, queer fun fact with Fiona. So I'm going to keep bouncing off the hobby building. So the fact today is the first LGBTQ plus rights organization in the United States was founded, boom, 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 in a government building.
Okay.
It was not named the hobby building. But back in 1942, a German immigrant, Henry Gerber, launched the Society for Human Rights, which was the nation's first documented gay rights group. And this was from a rented room in Chicago that was city-owned building. The tiny office became the birthplace of a movement nearly half a century before Stonewall. So as Austin breathes new life into the hobby building, a once forgotten government complex, it's worth remembering that queer history has always found a way to live inside official walls. Maybe this redevelopment is more than just a concrete and permits. It's a chance to imagine space that supports everyone, including our LGBTQ plus community. Because you never know what kind of history can start inside of a government building.
Wow.
Okay.
What year was this?
This was 1924.
Wowzers.
Wow.
1924.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Now, it was Chicago, not Austin, but I mean, who knows? We could
in
start
Chicago.
kind of, yeah, we could do like some kind of LGBTQ plus LGBTQA2S plus
There you go.
Love.
organization in a new government building or something.
And to think my grandmother was just working at Woolworths
There
down
you
the
go.
street while all that was going down.
Oh,
That was my first job.
Woolworths.
Mhm.
Woolworths is also an IGA, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, IGA.
Worked in the mall.
Hmm.
I stood behind a counter full of gold chain on links on like a spool, and I would design a necklace for you and cut it
At the grocery store?
at Woolworth. Woolworth was a department store.
Oh,
It's like a 5 and dime. Piggly
Oh.
Wiggly, IGT.
yeah.
Yeah.
5 and yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I sold,
like a
I sold
mercantile.
jewelry by the inch
A mercantile.
at a mere 15 years old.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we were
That's
teenager.
real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to find that here in Austin. Fiona and I were talking about me looking for a chain the other day. I was like, I think I want a gold chain because
Uh-huh.
now I've gotten into gold jewelry. I've always been like a silver gal,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just went out shopping and was like, wow, I am totally out of my depth and had no idea how much this was going to cost me. But
it's an
okay.
investment.
1924.
1924.
There you
See?
go.
Yeah, and we were doing stuff back then.
It's like we existed.
It's like
Throughout
we've
time.
always existed through history.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It's like cave paintings depict same-sex relations.
Oh, well.
Actually,
And
in
cross
China.
species, the two penguins.
That's what I was gonna say.
Those two penguins that have
All birds are
adopted
gay.
Yeah, all birds. Birds aren't real, but they're also gay. Now I see the correlation.
Well, there are plenty of LGBT businesses cooking around the Austin, greater Austin area. Over 475 are chamber members here. Fiona, or, what the hell's your name?
Wow. Hello. It's my first day.
I feel like one of those parents that like names off all their kids. you know?
Yep. Yep. 100%.
You, the one that looks like your father. Get over here.
Yep. Not me. My whole family was blonde hair and blue eyes.
I always got the dog's name.
Same. What the heck?
What was the dog's name?
Shadow.
Oh,
That's real nice.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Made you feel like a shadow.
Well, we have everyone here from, of course, our friends at Apple and other corporate partners to small mom and mom, pop and pops, and everything in between. So let's hear about some of our members. What do you got for us, Amy?
We have 2 new members.
yay!
Yay! Bradshaw Architecture, welcome to the
It's a
chamber.
day of buildings.
I tell you what, it's happening all over Central Texas right now. And then also welcome to the chamber, the You, Me, She Fest.
Tiffany's
Yeah.
proud of this one.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on
Can
that a
I?
little bit?
Okay, so Tiffany is an amazing woman. She's originally from Australia. She and I kind of relate. Yeah, we met her. Anyway, so she has You, Me, She Fest, which is women and non-binary inclusive festival events. Last year, she hosted a Celebrate Your Cellulite pool party, which I
Beg your
particularly
pardon?
love. Celebrate Your Cellulite pool party.
That's my favorite drag queen.
So
I feel like I
didn't
could have been a
realize-
star of that pool.
Celia should host it.
Yeah. Cellulite should host it.
Okay, well, there you go. This year, September the 13th, Saturday, September 13th, she's doing this big women's empowerment festival.
I love it.
Here, and it's going to include pools and that kind of stuff.
It's like musicians and creatives,
Yes.
like just boosting their.
and
yeah.
entrepreneurship activities, and it's all related to business and the stuff that we do. So, yeah, I'm especially excited that I mean, I love all of our members, obviously.
Yeah.
But when I saw that Tiffany decided to join our chamber, I was like, yay, Tiffany, thank you.
You know, every time I read it, I think of the Peaches song "I Use She."
Uh-huh.
So
I don't know that song.
I love peaches.
I know she's intense. I do have bad news in membership. JP Morgan Chase Scholarship is officially closed. So if you were banking on that, it is no longer available. However, I will plug a little teaser here. Not a promise, just a teaser. We do have another potential grant opportunity for you later in the summer, early fall. I'm going to throw another acronym at you, VSBDR, also through the NGLCC. So that stands for Verizon Small Business Digital Readiness. And it's basically a 3-part course. Courses are 30 minutes a piece. You have to take 3. But when you complete those 3 courses, you unlock an application for a $10,000 grant with Verizon. So more details on that to come later when it is announced, but you can get ahead of it by taking those courses now. If you're interested, just reach out to me, or you can find information on that in our socials and our newsletter.
Fabulous. Talk to us about events, Colton, in your best radio voice.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, no. Please come hang out with us this Thursday, July 24th at Drinks Lounge. Check out their newly renovated patio. Have a beverage or two. Network with chamber members and friends. And don't forget to check out the record shop. Heads up for August. There will be no luncheon or standard happy hour. Instead, we will kick off the month with the DECA Small Business Opportunity Summit on August 1st at the City of Austin Permitting and Development Center. Small business attendees get in for free. Breakout sessions on major procurement opportunities, commercial leasing, and labor solutions. Sponsorships are still available if you would like to get your brand in front of 250 plus small business attendees. And then as soon as we finish the DECA Summit, we are heading to Seattle. Can they still register, Tina?
They can still register. I have spots for 2 more people.
2 more people. If you want to escape the Texas heat this August, come join us in Seattle. Session highlights include future of work in King County, Seattle housing and commercial real estate, business incentives and programs, startup and small business ecosystem, waterfront redevelopment project, tourism, hospitality, and more. Sponsorships are also available for companies based in Seattle and in Austin. Connect your brand to this powerful cross-market experience. And mark your calendars for the 5th annual Austin Arts Mixer in collaboration with KMFA Classical on August 21st. And then on August 23rd, the Austin LGBT Chamber podcast will be live at the Austin Pride Parade. Can't make it down for the parade? You can watch from the comfort of wherever you are. We also have something else exciting happening on that date, and I will let Fiona expand upon that.
I'm so excited. We're doing a collaborative event with HRC Austin and Avita Pharmacy and some other corporate partners to be announced. And we're having a big party at Speakeasy on Congress. The tickets, I think, are going to be like $15 with a $5 coupon off for our chamber members. And you get to be in a big event with lots of AC, and there's going to be tabling, and there's going to be a DJ, and it's going to be a super, super fun event where you can actually enjoy the parade from Congress in an amazing party space. So more on our website to come. Yeah.
Yes, more, including registration, coming soon. Also, how do y'all feel about Sunday Fun Day?
I love a Sunday Fun Day.
Well, we have the perfect Sunday Fun Day coming up for you in September. On September 21st, we will have the 6th annual Pride and Local Music Festival at 310 ACL Live. Yeah. Pride and Local Music is free to attend and open to the public. Artist announcements and more coming soon.
I get so excited for Pride and Local.
I know, I'm excited.
I just love live music. This is one of my favorite things. Yeah. It's on my dating profile.
Yeah, and we have some exciting artist announcements coming very soon.
Yes, they are confirmed, but we're not ready to announce. That's all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So be quiet.
Suspense.
And just wait. Be patient.
Be patient, Mitch. You will have a good time. But As always, we thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more about becoming a chamber member or all of our events, visit us at austinlgbtchamber.com. If you want to be a guest or a sponsor, email us at info@austinlgbtchamber. You listen to our show every Tuesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to follow us. Thanks. We'll see you next week.